Well, yes, there is even an Old Testament book called Numbers, the Book of Numbers. And look, nobody in their right mind's taking it as history. I mean, I don't want to be unkind, but, you know, the numbers are symbolic of the perfection and God's message that everything's in code. You know, Psalm 119, when you equate the Hebrew letters with their appropriate number, you know, from Aleph to, I don't know how the Hebrew alphabet goes, but you get the most incredible number pattern coming out that you really feel no man could have written and still made some sort of apparent sense. Not to mention the other constraint, which is every line of this longest psalm in the Bible has reference to either commandment, precepts, statutes, laws, sayings. No matter how you translate it, every sentence includes a word of that dimension. I just think, I mean, you don't realize it quite when you're reading it. I mean, you might find it tedious, you might find it far too long or something, you know. But you know, when you're dedicated and inspired, it's almost like reading a mantra. It persuades you in itself of its own validity, simply by the repetition of this notion of a word from God, a guidance, a commandment, a law, a precept, whatever, you know. I mean, there's really no question of it. The Old Testament's built on law. And this is the thing, if you like, that Paul drives home to us, that the Jesus story, as it has to be, and he doesn't know what it is really at this stage, as I understand it. But he does know it's not law. It's something about love. We've transcended the law in an utterly godly way, a Gnostic way, really, utterly Gnostic. Paul is Gnostic. I mean, there's no question of it. I mean, no matter how much they added to and adjusted and edited and so on, and you still got a Paul that is Gnostic, just as John's Gospel is Gnostic. It's not literalist. Not that sort of fundamentalism. It's a fundamentalism that says, you have no idea of the holiness of God. Your imagination just has to constantly reach out that you have ears to hear. It's all Jesus spoke, is all in parables, parallels. His very existence, the story, is simply a parallel, a parable. And you may despise simplicity, but it's because it embraces then all people, all life. Yeah. I mean, the most dead of religious people are absolutely clear on the significance of 7, 12, 1, 3. And then there are other numbers floating around like 40, 150 and 3. Sorry, 153, you see, the number of fishes that were in the net, you know. The numbers given in the Old Testament for, you know, they're too symbolic to be meant to tell you that we're talking about some historical fact, reality, materialistic counting of bodies or something. I mean, it's not that at all. It's constantly telling you of the divine, the hand of God on the story. That's the idea. And it may do it well, it may do it childishly, but it does it that way, in numbers, you see. Perhaps it's to guard us against worshipping history. The validity of the story is not its historicity or history. The validity of the story is in its spiritual content, which is to say nostic, of course. Thank you, Heavenly Dad. Do I mean when I say Dad? You know, this man in the sky? No, of course. No, just about nobody thinks that. We give it to the children, but we don't, even then we give it in the form of Jesus is caring for us. Because the kids will understand that. I mean, I won't say it leads them astray from the beginning, but, well, it has its problems doing that. You end up worshipping a life worshipping Jesus, the messenger. A mind that's willing to accept Trinitarian dimensions, you know. Look, I can only use your language to make any sense to you at all. What you make of it depends on your heart, whether you have ears to hear or not, in that sense. It's all Gnostic. How amazing. Thank you, Heavenly Dad.